We have local grandparents and we also have out-of-state grandparents. So in this video, I'm sharing how I involve our grandparents in the homeschool to help me not lose my mind, and also so I can delegate some different types of learning. My name is Joy Cherrick and welcome to my channel. I have 6 kids and I use the Charlotte Mason method in our homeschool. On this channel, I do videos about Charlotte Mason homeschooling, nature study, and family life. So the first way that I use grandparents in our homeschool is on Monday mornings. My mom comes by, she lives 10 minutes away, and she picks up my youngest children. So right now, that means she's picking up the youngest 3, a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 6-year-old. The 6-year-old's in 1st grade. So the 6-year-old has to get his schoolwork done before he leaves, or sometimes he can do it at grandma's house, just it's reading or math pages. So she takes them home and she does Play-Doh with them. They sometimes do an art project. Sometimes they do cooking. They spend all morning at grandma's house, and then she brings them back home, which is such a huge blessing. Now, while I'm home with my older 3 children, that gives me the opportunity to do some things that are more difficult when little ones are running around getting into everything. So we've been reading things like Plutarch or the Trial and Triumph books. Sometimes we'll do our art lessons. This year we did that so that the older kids could have more designated time with that. I could also see this a great time for doing a morning meeting with each student. I'm just trying to play with it and think about how that's going to look next year based on what our needs are. So for now, that's really worked well to have that kind of dependable day a week that I know the younger ones are cared for. And then I can also be focusing on the older ones. The next way that I use our grandparents in our homeschool is my dad actually comes over on Wednesday mornings around 10 o'clock. Now, my parents are divorced, so my mom, she's getting Mondays and my dad's kind of getting Wednesdays, but it actually kind of works great because when he comes over, he takes aside my younger 3 and he goes and reads with the littlest ones who aren't reading yet. And he'll probably do that for about 30 minutes. They'll just grab a stack of picture books and take them to one of the other rooms and just pile on Grandpa, and he just gets to read books to them. And then my 1st grader will bring in books to read to him to get his reading practice in. So that's been a really fun way for my dad to be able to see his progress over time. And then also, he'll read books to them. And then when they come out, my dad will join us for morning time. Sometimes during that time, I'll do one of the video art lessons, and then my dad and I will get to talk a little bit while we're doing that, or we'll do morning time together, and he'll just do the read aloud, to the older kids, and we'll just enjoy that together. I love morning time because it allows for any age participant to just flow right in. It's a timeless practice that works for anyone. And then we feed my dad lunch and I visit with him for a little bit, but he's been able to help and participate in the school day. And we've gotten the wonderful fellowship of time with him, and it breaks up the week, especially this last year with COVID and all of that, and not having as many play dates and co-op type things going on. It was really great to have that option. And the last way we use grandparents in our homeschool is my mother-in-law does Zoom class 2 days a week with my kids. So my older 2, who are 4th grade and 5th grade, are doing a writing class with her. So we've been trying to figure out how to do the homework assignments and how to do the accountability. Like, how do I know what the assignment is to make sure they're doing it, that kind of thing. So we've been figuring that out, but it's been really, really fun. It's been wonderful to see them have just some structured time with her instead of, you know, just, it kind of gets messy when they're trying to do FaceTime. They're not really talking about anything really in particular, but this gives her a nice way to like look at them, like they can talk about whatever the thing is, and then also get inside their hearts a little bit, because when they're writing, she's wanting them to write about things that they're interested in. So that's fun. And then the younger kids, my second grader has been reading aloud to her from either picture books, or they did do like King of the Wind, where he read a little bit and she read a little bit, and then they talked about that. He might start doing the writing portion next year, but we really wanted to focus on his reading this year as a second grader, but he just really took off. And then my first grader does a, you know, kind of early reader, read aloud to her. And then there's time for grandma to read aloud to the younger ones, to anyone who wants to listen. So she'll usually read one picture book. And then they get to talk about, you know, I kind of hear the different conversations going on. They get to find out, the kids get to find out what grandma and grandpa have been working on, or what trips they've been taking, or whatever during that time. So there is a way for them to have that relationship, but it's also a little bit more structured, a little bit calmer, I'm sure more enjoyable. I know it is more enjoyable, she has said, and also to get that regular scheduled time in with the grandkids who are, you know, we're across the country. So that's it. Those are the ways that we are currently incorporating grandparents in our homeschool this year. I would love to hear if you have some other ideas or other ways that you've incorporated grandparents into your homeschool, or just what other things work for you. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.